question of the week.
Well, as we kick off the month of July, of course, if you are following along with us on social media, Facebook and Twitter at 3 Count Thursday, you will know that July is the and Mike brings up a great point. When does the "I'm a data whore" shirt go on sale? I like that one. We might have to work on that one.
If y'all will buy them, I'll make them.
Yeah, start buying some shirts.
Yeah, start buying the "I'm a Sausage Guy" shirt first.
And then
Nobody wanted that. I'm a sausage
Everybody
guy.
wants it.
everybody loves that. Buy
Everybody
any
loves
shirt.
sausage.
God damn it!
And
What
the baby onesie deal is still on. If you steal a baby and you put them in a 3CF&T onesie and take a picture as photographic evidence, we will do something for you.
I'll buy
Not
you a
gonna-
shirt of your choice.
Do not steal babies.
You know what? At this point, who fucking
Do
cares?
Borrow a
not.
baby.
Let's move the
baby.
merchandise. Move the merchandise.
not.
God damn it!
Haven't you heard Drake Works does not want that to happen?
I didn't say put the baby in a mask.
Yeah,
I said
come on,
just
Ryan.
Put it in a onesie.
Yeah, put it
Cover
in a onesie.
everything but its face.
Take a picture.
We borrowed a baby 5 years ago to the day, wasn't it?
5 years ago to a day. Did
Yeah.
the
Borrow the
Croatian
baby.
family behind us give us their baby?
I still
Yeah.
have so many questions about that day. It's
There
just,
it is,
She's
Mike.
doing-
There you go,
she's doing
Mike.
well.
You buy the onesie, you take a
3CF
picture, you send it
3CF&T.
to us on social media. I will buy you a shirt of your choice from our What a Maneuver store.
There it is.
A t-shirt of your choice from our What a Maneuver store. All right. But if you've been following along with us on social media, you'll know that the month of July, we are celebrating American independence, independent wrestling in the United States all July long. Our trivia questions, I know, Ryan, you've been doing a lot of work on them. The Throwback Thursdays and all of that sort of stuff, right? All of that has to do all month long with independent wrestling.
Sure does.
Right, sure does. Awesome.
Yeah, well, that'll fuck.
Awesome. Put a reminder in your
I
phone.
worked real hard on what?
You're like, wait, I
Hilarious,
worked
'cause
hard.
This was Ryan's idea, and I asked, "Do you need any help?" And he said, "Nah."
He's like, no, I got this. Now I think he wants help, man. I think he wants help
Too
now.
late.
No, today was the first Throwback Thursday. We featured a Throwback Thursday from an independent wrestling.
That one
promotion.
guy in the Throwback Thursday looked a lot like Cesaro.
He looked a lot like Cesaro.
He looked like Cesaro with hair. It was wild.
The other guy you may have known as well, Jim.
Did
He
I?
never made it into the WWE, I don't think,
Yeah,
but
but I
he
probably
was pretty
never heard of
popular in
him.
NXT.
He was the original KO guy. Before Kevin Owens, there was Cassius Ono.
Oh, yeah,
no.
I've kind of heard of him, but definitely the other guy looks
I
like
kind of
Cesaro.
heard of him.
Didn't he change his name to Muhammad Ali?
No,
No, that was Cassius Clay.
Oh,
close, real close.
Oh. Yeah, so the Thursday throwbacks, the question of the weeks, are all going to be independent themed. The wrong answer only named as wrestlers are all independent wrestling themed this week or this month.
Be nice.
Yeah, be nice. Comments.
I don't give a shit. Give us what you got.
I know it's the internet, but also be nice.
Comments.
can monitor. You
Comments
douchebag,
can
we'll
and will
delete
be
your shit.
moderated.
What else is there? The Friday trivia questions are all independent wrestling related. So yeah, I put some work in.
But we will have questions of the questions of the week all month long. In our first one,
The 3 Count question of the week.
since it is July 1st and it is the first week of the month of American independence, what was your first independent wrestling show that you attended, that you went to live? So does anybody want to start us off?
Jim?
I can start us off. It was, I got to remember the year. I think it was 99 when the CWF, Christian Wrestling Federation from Texas, Rockwall, Texas, first came to Lidditz, PA, first of 3 years, I believe. Then they made the trip up here, and Big Tim Storm and the Jesus Freak Rob Vaughn stayed at my house that year. So yeah, future NWA World Champion stayed at my house, and of course we all know the story of the next 2 years with Big Spoon, Little Spoon. But CWF 1999 and Lidditz, PA was my first independent wrestling show.
Did they have to stay at your house? Was that just like
Part of the deal?
so you made it part of the deal?
Well, no.
It
So
was like, if you want us to book
if you want us to put on
one
these
of you
shows,
guys
you're
has to
staying at
stay
our
my
house. We don't want to. You're staying at the fucking house. No. So there was one of two ways that you could book the CWF at the time. You could book them for an individual show, which you had to pay them a certain amount up front to make the trip to wherever you were. Or you could do what they called like a 3-day crusade, where they didn't take any money up front. They only took, whatever the gate made and all of that. But you had to house the wrestlers, so they didn't have to pay to stay anywhere. So the company was saving a little bit money on, and the wrestlers were saving money on housing, so you didn't have to stay in a hotel. So that's why. And I think if I remember right, the weekend after they were here, those years they went to a Six Flags or something up in like Buffalo, New York. So it always coincided with that trip for them. So they weren't just coming to the Northeast for the Lidditz shows. I was going to go to Ryan next, but he's gone. So, Matt, why don't you go next?
Sure. I don't remember the date. Ryan said it at the start of the show, and I was only half listening. But it was the Atomic Championship Wrestling show where we were promised the barbed wire Hell in a Cell. We sort of got that. But what stands out to me of that show is Ryan was sitting next to me and he had bought a shirt from the table. He's unfolding the shirt. The wrong date is printed on the shirt. It was for a date like 3 years in the future.
Which was, I think it fell on like a Wednesday. I think like 3 years in the future. Ryan, please tell me you still have that shirt.
Oh man, I could find it. If I still have it, I'll bring it out for our American Independence show next Thursday.
Perfect.
Yes, please do. But yes,
that was May of 2015.
Thank you.
And that was the first, like as a 3-count Thursday collective that we had gone to. So
right, we all held hands there.
We did. We were scared.
We had a meeting that same day, right, with LCW.
We did.
Day?
That was a big independent day for us.
Very, very professional business meeting at fucking Friendly's.
Friendly's in Centerville, Pennsylvania. And I'm sure Ryan had a patty melt or something.
No, chicken
tendies.
Ryan got the fishamajig and sat in the booth with his fribbles. You had the strawberry fribble that day.
That was after reading that Red Robin.
You had 2 strawberry fribbles, one for each hand.
Do you know me? Strawberry's far too much flavor.
Right, I was gonna say. I'm sure that would just.
If anything, I got the clown face ice cream cone for kids.
with the Reese's Pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the whipped cream hair. Yep.
I'm
37 years old, and I will still ask for that.
Why wouldn't you?
It's a great Sunday. Why wouldn't you? And you get an ice cream cone hat.
Right.
It's an okay Sunday.
Okay.
There's nothing to it.
It's Friendly's. There's nothing
vanilla
to anything they serve.
Right. I was gonna say there's nothing.
Vanilla ice cream with 2 Reese's Pieces.
No, there was some at the bottom of that little tin cup. But there were 2 eyes. There were definitely 2 eyes.
2 eyes.
To label that as a great Sunday is a stretch.
Label anything great from Friendly's is a stretch.
Right.
I do enjoy their coleslaw.
Look,
they do have some good coleslaw.
Friendly's. The beauty of Friendly's is every time you go there, the meal is exactly the same. Like you're never going to have a great meal at Friendly's, but I don't know if I've ever had a time where I've had a bad meal at Friendly's.
You know my favorite thing I've gotten at a Friendly's? Their breakfast potatoes.
Huh. I don't know that I've ever had their breakfast potatoes.
Most people haven't.
To be honest, I didn't know Friendly's was open for breakfast.
They are. You should check it out.
Probably won't.
3 years ago, their breakfast was 50% off every day.
No.
Because nobody knew about it.
So the fact they were making any money at breakfast time was worth it for them.
It was a miracle.
Perfect. Ryan, what was your first independent wrestling show?
Jim, I never thought you would ask.
I didn't either.
Much like yourself, I'm fairly certain my first independent wrestling show was also the CWF when they rolled through beautiful Lidditz, Pennsylvania, into the Lidditz Recreational Center, also known as Lidditz Rec.
Yes.
But it was not the same year, Jim. I'm fairly certain you did the first year and you housed Tim Storm and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, you should really come to this. And I'm like, all right. And you're like, AJ Styles is going to be there. He's a big star. And I'm like, I've never heard of him.
You're like, who the fuck is that guy?
But you're like, come on. I went to the mall with him and we held hands at Electronic Boutique.
Completely
video
accurate.
Games. I know it is. And I'm like, all right, I'll go.
So that would have been 2000.
So that would have been 2000. It was a beautiful time. I remember like toying around in the ring a little bit after the show because I like knew you, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And there were some crazy characters there. That's actually where I got my AJ Styles autographed picture. And he signed it AJ Styles, and then he signed John 3:3, his favorite Bible verse on it, which is exactly what I want on an AJ Styles promo picture.
Do you know what that
But
verse says?
I get why he did it. What?
What does John 3:3 say?
Beats the shit out of me.
Jesus answered him, "Truly, truly, I say unto you, unless one is born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God."
There you go.
Well, I guess he was
Boy,
trying to tell me
thank you,
something.
Tim.
There you go.
Bullet Club.
That'd be better if he would have wrote only you.
If you give me a second, I'll find. I have an autograph.
Tim,
picture
you're
from most
muted
of the
again.
guys
Ryan
there.
was still full screen when he did the Bullet Club thing.
Solid.
Mark or Tim, who wants to go next?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Tim, do you want to go or you want me to go?
I will happily go.
All right, Tim, go ahead.
Tiger.
I ain't from y'all's parts. I don't know anything about this atomic championship wrestling stuff. I go where wrestling's real, the South. So my first independent wrestling soiree was, I think, in 2005. A little promotion called Vanguard Championship Wrestling, now known as Virginia Championship Wrestling, used to be known as Virginia Championship Wrestling. But Vanguard Championship Wrestling, it's a promotion in which Dorian DeVille, aka Luke Gallows, got one of his starts. That's probably our claim to fame, but I can't remember much about the first card other than there was a referee who looked like the Buddy Lee Dungarees guy.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so every time the referee came out, we would just scream, Buddy Lee. That was really great. And yeah, the cool part about the indies is the legends or pseudo legends that get brought in to wrestle. So got to see some really cool wrestlers I didn't think I would ever get the chance to watch live because of it, especially through Vanguard Championship Wrestling.
Now, were these with Marcus, these shows?
Yeah. Marcus and I, so Marcus was a real young punk kid back then, and I was less of a young punk and more of just a regular adult punk.
Okay.
But we would hang out with these like three older dudes who just got hammered at the show, and they kind of took us under their wing as like wrestling fans, and it was pretty sick, except for the fact that they tried to get us to go to the strip joint that was like right across the street from the venue.
And how old were you at this point?
I was 18.
Okay.
And Marcus is 2.5, like almost 3 years younger than me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it's like, nah, I'd rather not go to the treasure.
No, thank you, sir.
No, thanks,
Treasure
guys.
Cove.
This might incriminate me, but I was referred to as Hugh Morris in the group because I had short buzzed hair and I was portly. I was about Oddly enough, half my size and still fat, so that's great. It's funny how you're just
good about
fat
that.
I feel great about it. I love it so much.
Fat.
What was Hugh Morris's name in the MIA?
Huge erection.
Huge erection.
General Rection. Yep, that's him.
Oh my.
Mark, what was your first independent wrestling show?
My first indie show outside of the backyard wrestling we used to do.
Yeah.
I guess if you would consider ECW in the mid '90s as independent, that was the first show. They were touring. They actually came to York, Pennsylvania, at the fairgrounds, and boy, that was a good time. I was probably at one of their peaks for popularity before they really exploded on peaks. I say in popularity as an independent promotion before they started doing pay-per-views and such. But
would you say that was around June '98?
Yeah, that would probably be accurate. Were you there, Tim?
No, I wasn't, but I pulled up the match listing.
Oh shit! Let's hear it.
It was Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow. Wasn't that one of them?
I don't see Taz on the card.
Who the heck did Bam Bam fight? Because
Mike Lozansky. I don't know who that is.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Anthony.
Have no idea who that is.
Mikey Whipwreck was there. And Sabu.
Mikey Whipwreck fought Sabu. Yep.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. You want to hear a great story about that?
The floor is yours, Mark.
We're celebrating American independence. Let's do it, Mark.
All right, let's do it. So
mute him.
No, Mark, you're not. I didn't mute you.
Oh, I'm not muted. Okay. So
the mute button actually turns his voice box off. It doesn't turn his mic off.
I don't know how to turn the mic on and off, so I just stopped talking. I keep moving my lips. But anyway, so it was general admission, except for I think ringside you paid more for that or whatever. But so we're sitting maybe 3 or 4 rows back, and it was me and someone who I won't name, because if you say the name, it's like a demon; it gives it power. And then it was Cousin Brian and Cousin Brian's future wife. So we all went, and
you took your ex-wife to an ECW show.
You know what? I should have known right then and there things weren't going to work out. That was before we were married.
She was cheering for the heels, wasn't she?
She's a heel. I don't know. I better not say anything. Not that she's listening, but
Houston, we have a problem.
But anyway, so we're sitting there like 3rd row, 4th row, and Cousin Brian's wife didn't necessarily want to be there. And Sabu throws Mikey Whipwreck like right at our feet in front of us. I mean, he's laying right there. So the big security guard guys come over and tell us to move. They go, move, move. We all move except for Cousin Brian's wife sat in her chair, did not move. Sabu runs. He's in the ring. He runs. He jumps on that top rope and comes over the guardrail and all over the chairs right on the Mikey Whipwreck right in front of her. She did not get out of her chair. She sat there in her freaking chair and everybody else was gone. How they didn't land on her, I have no idea. But that was something. If Cousin Brian's listening, he'll tell you.
That was like the Matt, do you remember? I think it was a hybrid show or an H2O show that we were at down there in Eddystone, and like clearly we're in the front row and clearly something's being set up, and this lady next to me is like, do you think that they're gonna end up into our chairs? I'm like, yeah, lady, you're probably gonna want to move here in a second. Like
she had like 2 handfuls of food, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She
gets it.
She did not look prepared for what was about to happen.
2 handfuls of food.
So here is the card that intern.
I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, let's hear this.
Chris Chetty defeated Danny Doring. Supernova, the Blue Meanie, and Tommy Rogers defeated Lil Guido, Tommy Rich, and Tracy Smothers.
Oh, shit.
Chris Candido and Lance Storm defeated Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney. Justin Credible defeated Jerry Lynn. Bam Bam Bigelow beat a dude nobody's heard of. Rob Van Dam defeated John Cronus. Sabu defeated Mikey Whipwreck. And in the main event, it was Tommy Dreamer, the Sandman, Spike Dudley, and New Jack taking on Jack Victory, Bubba Ray, Devon, and Big Dick Dudley in an 8-person tag.
The whole night was just crazy. It was as nuts as you would expect an ECW show to be. It was just unreal.
They went back to the York Fairgrounds the next year in 99. And those are the only 2 shows ECW did at the fairgrounds.
Nice. That's what Ryan and we saw a TNA show at the York Fairgrounds.
We did.
In the fucking rain.
Don West was hammered drunk that night.
Don West. Prayers up, Don West, battling brain tumor right now. But yeah.
Was that September 2015?
I think it would have been before that. It might have been. It might have been.
It feels like it would have been longer than 6 years. I actually found
Do you remember any of the matches
on eBay.
Styles was still with TNA at the time.
Yeah.
Was he on the card?
Yes.
Rhino was there. Chris Sabin was there. These are These are people I remember that came ringside after the show. Velvet Sky. Jeff Jarrett was still a thing there.
Yeah, I think it was before. I want to say it was 2010. Does it feel like it was that long ago?
Give me a second. I'll find the program.
Okay,
I'm gonna have it. I know it's somewhere.
No, it would have been.
You're not even moving.
Here it is, I think.
Yeah, it would have been 2010 because it was the same year I bought my house. It was the summer I bought my house.
Jeff Jarrett defeated AJ Styles. Madison Rain versus Velvet Sky.
Yeah, this sounds right.
Madison Rain was there.
D'Angelo De Niro versus Rhino.
Pope was there.
The Motor City Machine Guns versus Inc.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Shannon. Yeah.
Samoa Joe defeated Kazarian, and the main event was Abyss and Jeff Hardy in a Monsters Ball.
That's exactly the show.
That's the show.
Yeah. It fucking poured.
The wrestling sucked ass because the ring was just out in the track, just getting rained on. So like everything had to just be walking, running.
Just so you know, if you had made it to the Wilkes-Barre show the night after, you could have seen the exact same matches and probably been a lot drier.
Probably.
Oh, we were in the grandstand. We were dry as hell.
Oh yeah, we were dry. The wrestling wasn't.
Gotcha.
It's wild to see Samoa Joe like pick somebody up for the Muscle Buster and like just slowly walk and bump.
Yeah,
it's something to see.
Yeah, that was something. Did everybody give theirs for the first?
Hey, yeah. You guys talking about TNA at the York Fair? Have you ever been in the sideshow tents at the York Fair?
No.
Come on, Mark. I don't like where this is going already.
I tried to stay away from those, but
the York Fair's this month, so get ready. It's the York State Fair.
I'm sure.
Are you going to any concerts there, Mark?
Well, you know what? I'm glad you asked. Now, unfortunately, Pitbull had to cancel his show. He was going to be there. Pitbull.
Hate to see it.
You hate to see it. You know, he puts on a good show. Now they're doing the Triple Play Tuesday, so you get 3 shows. You're going to have Skid Row. It's Skid Row, and it's.
All right, so I think it's time we got to take our break.
Didn't their singer just die?
That was it Skid Row?
I mean, not Sebastian Bach, but
yeah.
The other, like their replacement. Is Bach back with the band?
Maybe, I don't know.
You'd probably have to ask the guy who's going to the concert.
I'm not big up on my
on
Skid Row trivia. We'll check back in with Mark